So this is sort of another way to just practice your brush work. I'm just going to use the water brush that comes. Well, it's like the one that you're using. Then do that thing where I put the dots of water kind of rapidly into all the pans, mostly because, again, these watercolors. God, these watercolors are a little bit hard, and you can just, instead of using it right from the pan, again, I get the pigment on there and mix it on that. I was going to say the roof, the lid, the roof. And then, because this is not water soluble, just practice your lines. You can just paint some stripes in. It's always time with materials. And that the same thing with, pressing down and lifting up. Instead of trying to just, oh, how can I get this line just right and doing it in little stripes like that, try just pushing down when you want to lay more color in, lifting up when it gets thinner. This is so cool that this ink is now permanent. That makes so much more possible with these brush pens. So there's some yellow, and now maybe I always like yellow and blues together. But I just mix a bunch of stuff up and drag it into whatever is left dried on the lid of the watercolor set. Same thing. And again, just practice going in both directions. See how I can just do it in one line. Oh, this cat. I keep a jar of water always, and even though this is a water pen, I like to rinse it out in there and then maybe put it a little bit on that sponge. I use a color I haven't used much. This is this funky green. I'll mix it over here. And then, if you want to mix more colors, you do have this thing here that works. Sticking that palette on the side if you need more room for colors. Let's do that green. So you get the idea. You don't have to keep watching unless you're somebody who just loves to watch, and I love to watch paint dry. Yeah, you don't need to keep watching this, but I'm going to finish this just because I want to. This also is a time when you can start to play with colors that you just think, I would never use that color in a million years. I can't stand it. And then find out how they all will act together. They act differently, colors do, when they're with different pals. You can see too that I can hold the brush way back here. You know, this idea, you get this idea that you have to just really choke it, but you don't. If you think about it, you have a lot more ability to move your brush if you're holding it further down the handle. You can use your whole arm. Gotta find some interesting colors that like each other. Like this brown and this blue seem to get along. Oh, I think I'm going to do some red. Ooh, that's bright. Let's see what happens. You know, when you're doing watercolor, you have a character that's wearing some clothes and you want to do a pattern. Stripes are always nice. You can also see how fast this is. Now what do I want? I think I want something dark. This looks like a dark brown. Here's a color I hardly ever use. I'm going to try throwing some of that in there. See what happens. All right. You shouldn't be afraid to use up your watercolors. Really get in there and use them up. I'd rather do this than make those little, you know how people will take each color and make a little color swatch? Which is, you know, it's kind of a fun thing to do when you're starting out, but I don't think it gives you a whole lot in terms of what you're going to really do when the time comes and you start painting. What do we got here? Here we go. Stripes.